I'm back from LA. Today we're doing a Q&A because it is a question and gay answers, basically. I asked you guys to ask me some questions on Instagram story, so if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, go and do that. So I'm just gonna get straight into it, no dilly-dallying, let's do this. How are you still single? You're a 10 out of 10. I am single because I should be. I am basically a serial dater. No, I'm joking. I was in 2 back-to-back relationships, and this year I have been single for almost a year now, and I'm very happy about it. I just needed a break, basically. I have been like dating, going on dates, like doing a little bit here and there, and I think that's what I needed. There's a good reason I'm single right now, and just because someone's a 10 out of 10 doesn't mean they need to be taken, okay? But thank you for that compliment, by the way. How to feel like you're part of the gay community when you live in a smaller town, and how to find a girlfriend. So I live in not a very small town, but I definitely live in a smaller town than like a big city like LA or San Francisco where I used to live. I used to live in LA, and it was a lot easier because you can just go into West Hollywood and find a ton of girls there. Whereas now, I think that using apps is a great way to find other people in the community. I know apps aren't always the funnest way. People don't love finding people on apps like Tinder and Hinge and Her and Bumble and all that, but it is a good way to find people in your town that are gay. You can also find events and stuff. In my town, there is one gay bar / coffee shop, and I'm sure if I went there often enough, I'd be able to like kind of make friends and see who's gay. But yeah, there's just like a bunch of flags outside that coffee shop. So going to places like that, and there's also some gay events, and my town also has a pride, which is kind of shocking because it's not that big of a town, but it's also not that small. But I was surprised that they had a pride. Also, doing stuff online makes you feel part of the community. Like I said, I live in a smaller town, but I make TikTok videos and I make YouTube videos, and so I have a community online, which is also helpful to make you feel like you're part of something. Would you do long distance? No. That is just a quick answer to the question. I have been in 2 LDRs, and both of them did not end well. And also, just if one of the people in the relationship is not willing or interested in moving closer to that person, there's honestly no real reason to be in a long distance relationship unless you are planning to like eventually make your lives together. For me, yeah, in both situations, neither one of us really wanted to move, which was very apparent. And so obviously both of us ended up just doing our own thing. In a sense, I basically got cheated on in one of the relationships. Yeah, I probably wouldn't do long distance if I can't drive to you, then it's long distance for me. If it's somewhere that's drivable, even if it's kind of far, then I would still be down. 10 hours is my max, like 10-hour drive. Anything past that is LDR and not gonna happen for me. Ideal date. I'm the type of person that I have, well, most of the time, I have a lot of energy, so I like dates where you're like going and doing stuff and kind of getting to know the person's personality around other people. Sometimes like dinner dates are very awkward and it's hard to think of things to say on the spot like that, and they just feel very like structured and weird. Doing something that's like fun, like going to Scandia, going mini golfing, going to Top Golf. I don't know why I just like named just golfing. I don't even golf. I don't know why I just did that. Fair, or like going to something that's active where you're actually doing something together is kind of like my ideal date. I would say that's a fun date. And then after, going to get food where you can actually talk. But doing a little bit of both is like my ideal first date. Okay, we got a freaky question. What position do you like? I like third base. Just kidding. Is that even a position? I don't even know. I played softball and I was like in the outfield. Anyways, I don't really have like a favorite position. I am somebody that likes to mix things up, likes to try some new things, but I'm not like a super freak or anything like that. Like I'm not like freaky in the sheets. I'm willing to like try different things and like mix things up, toys. But also for girls, like there's only so many positions. And also, do they have names? I'm not sure. I guess 69. I'm just gonna say 69. Okay, what do you look for in a girl? I look for similar like interests. I feel like when you have similar interests with somebody, you're able to kind of blend your 2 worlds together, and that like makes kind of like that best friend feel. And that's what I like in a relationship, is somebody that I want to hang out with a lot. And also we can support each other in our interests. So like if I hated basketball and my girl played basketball, I feel like eventually that would butt heads if I really hated basketball, you know what I mean? So you'd have to be interested in the other person's hobbies and interests and stuff like that so you can really support them in that. So yeah, similar interests is one thing. I really like someone that's driven and likes to try new things and is adventurous and kind of like spontaneous like me, or even if they're not spontaneous, but like they would be willing to be spontaneous. That is something that I really like. How do you know if a girl from Insta is gay? There is absolutely no way of knowing unless they blatantly make it obvious like I do, or if they have like a rainbow flag in their bio. Other than that, like you're really not gonna know. Yeah, I mean, you could ask. I would never personally ask somebody. Have you ever had a bad first date experience? Yes, I've had multiple, which is why I am single. I have gone on a lot of dates when I lived in LA. I loved like just like meeting new people, and I think that's why I dated so much. Yeah, I've had some pretty bad ones. I've had one where a girl told me that she only dates girls who date girls only, and that is a little bit biphobic to me. So I was like, okay, I'm not the one for you. And I tried to leave, and then she like pulled me back, and it was really, really weird because it was the first date. And then I had another girl ask to do butt stuff on a first date, which not into that. Asking that on the first date is just like a lot. I had one girl invite me to a party at her house, and so me and my friends came, and she was getting her hair done, and there was like her two roommates there. So that was super awkward. Then we decided, okay, we're gonna leave after like maybe an hour of being there, and she's like, what, you're not gonna stay the night? And I was like, girl, no. The next one is, what's your love language? There are 5 love languages, and I think mine is quality time. I like love to spend time with the person that I'm interested in. Have you ever been in a 3-kind relationship? I think you mean 3-way relationship or something like that. Like, I don't know if you mean like a love triangle or if you mean like polyamorous. I am not interested in that. I am not interested in that. And I probably would never. I mean, I know I would never. I'm just too, like, when I invest myself into somebody, it's like I'm literally giving my all to them, and I do not have anything left for somebody else too. Next question, when do you usually introduce your girlfriend to your family? I love this question because I feel like I'm so unique in this answer. I feel like everyone kind of keeps their family like sacred from the people that they're dating. I don't. I introduce my family to everybody right away as soon as I'm starting to date them, because I definitely want to see their opinions throughout. I'm best friends with my sister, and so she meets them right away, and she does the same thing for me. Like, I don't make it this huge thing of meeting my family or my parents. Honestly, I don't even say I'm dating the person most of the time. I just like bring them around, and then they're around, and then one day we're dating, and then I like, my family just knows. Like, I never even say like, this is my girlfriend. I just, this is, and then whatever their name is, here you go. I feel like we put so much pressure on somebody when meeting the parents, and that's a lot of stress for the person and for the family. Like, I don't think it needs to be that serious. If it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out. My family like will understand. How was your first time? Exciting, nerve-wracking, amazing, or totally bad? I've talked about this before in my coming out story. My first time with a girl was one of my friends, one of my best friends at the time, and it was not romantic at all. It was literally us being like, let's experiment. Because I was dating somebody, which I probably shouldn't have hooked up with somebody if I was dating somebody, but whatever. I was dating someone, and I was like talking to my best friend about it. I was like, I don't know how to sleep with a girl. I need to practice before like me and her even get intimate. And my friend was like, well, I'm curious. He was like, I just want to experiment, so I'd be down. So we did the thing. So that was my first time. It was a little bit nerve-wracking, I guess, but at the end of the day, it was very comfortable because it was somebody that I like had already had a connection with, you know, a friendship with. So my first experience was actually really good, and we're still friends to this day. It did not like, I don't know, yeah, it didn't like ruin anything between us, so it was good. When did you come out? So I have a coming out video where I came out to my dad. It'll be linked right here. It was in 2015 when I officially came out to everybody like vocally, but I dated a girl in 8th grade. So that was like the first time I came out, and then the second time where I vocally said it to everybody and everyone was like, we know, girl. The first time I vocally like started coming out to people was in 2015. The next question, it goes right with it. Did you get any negative reactions on coming out? I talked about this once before also in my coming out story, but one of my friends, She put a wall of pillows in between us that night that I told her. I didn't tell her I was into her, so I don't know what made her think that anything would have been different between us. When I started dating a guy later on, she was like, I told you it was a phase. And I was like, yeah, I'm pansexual, so sometimes I date guys and a lot of the times I date girls, but okay. I just don't talk about it with her anymore, and that's okay, and that is what it is, right? What do you like in a woman's personality, and how would you define your own? What I would like in somebody else's personality is somebody that is affectionate and caring, a fun personality, somebody that's not afraid to like be goofy and be themselves in front of me. They don't have to be like that in front of everybody else, but at least with me, just be really like fun and goofy. I like that. I would just want someone to be true to themselves, be comfortable around me, so it really depends. I think a lot of different personalities are great as long as somebody is just caring and sweet and kind of shows me that they really like me. And I would say my personality is loud, obnoxious, and passionate, and not in a way where it's like, ooh, sexually passionate. Not like that. I mean, like, I truly care about things like very hard, and so I'm passionate about like the people I care about and the things that I like to do. The next one is, how do I make a friend understand I'm not into her without losing her as a friend? So that is like the same sort of situation where that girl put pillows in between us. I just made it very clear. Like, I mean, you shouldn't have to lose a friend because they think that you're into them. If you're not, just say it to them, especially if they're your friend. I feel like you should be able to say, I'm not into you, so don't be worried. Ooh, this is a good question. While you were in LA, did you meet anyone that catches your eye? I actually did. Like, I don't know how you thought of that question, but I did meet somebody that caught my eye. I hope things go well. So yeah. Who's your lesbian crush? I don't really have like a lesbian crush like on a show or anything like that. When Orange is the New Black came out, I was like obsessed with Ruby Rose, but not no mo. Someone asked, who's the oldest and youngest person you've dated? I am 25, and when I was 23, I started dating somebody that was like 46, so that's a pretty like big age gap. That's double the age. And then the youngest I've dated is like 2 years younger than me. Yeah, I don't really date younger. I've always dated older. Ooh, this is a weird question. Thoughts on being in a relationship with a girl who can't marry a girl, but you can. There was this meme. If you're not dating for marriage, you're dating to get your heart broken. And then someone else wrote, no, Karen, I'm dating to get my pussy licked. Which, you know, I wouldn't date for that. I would just like go and like have a one night stand for that. When I am dating somebody, it's because I can see like long term in them. So if somebody is not interested in getting married, it's not really like the married part. It's more like if they're not interested in having a long relationship and seeing like us being together forever, then I wouldn't be interested in that person. So I don't really know what you mean by you can't get married. Maybe your family or something like that, but I wouldn't. If you're not ever interested in getting that far, then I wouldn't want to put myself in a position to get my heart broken. Ooh, what's your type? I don't have a type. I find a lot of different people attractive. It's more about like personality wise and if they are like, if they present themselves as a clean human, rather than like what type of hair they have and if they're stems or if they're femmes or if they're this and that. Like, I don't really care about that. It's more like, do you have a fun personality? Are you different from other people? Like, you have your own vibe, and do you have like really cool hobbies? Are you clean? Those are the main things for me. Are your teeth brushed? Now, that's something I look at. So, and someone asked, what color girl do you like? Like, I can't even believe that's a question right now. I know you put a little laughing face, but girl, come on now. Any color is good with me. What's your favorite orgasm spot? Clitoris or G-spot? Okay, so we are getting very frisky today. I actually cannot like get off from the G-spot, like from inside, like not gonna happen. I can only get off from the clit. I get like some sort of feeling, but I don't like get off the same way that I do from the outside. Is that weird or is that normal? Any tips on flirting with your barista? Ooh, honey, you're trying to get it at the Starbucks. Flirting in general in public is so difficult. If they're not wearing like a gay pride pin or something, like how are you supposed to know? But I still like try to shoot my shot a little bit, a little more like eye contact, a little more like laughing. I don't even know. I think it's obvious when someone else is gay and they're flirting with you. So honestly, I would just be like, hey, we should get coffee sometime when you're not making coffee. That's actually a great way to do it. You should do that. Any tips for coming out? This is like always the tip that I give. If you're in a position that you are not safe to come out, then I would not come out. If you live with your parents and you know that they would kick you out, don't come out. Wait until you've moved out on your own. If you're in a position where somebody could hurt you if you come out and you truly think that they might hurt you, don't come out. Be safe and be smart, and that's like my number one biggest thing. I just want people to be safe. Coming out is not as important as your safety. My advice for you, if you are coming out and you are safe and you're in a position to do so, is to just be yourself. Just say it, just do it. Be you, and don't let anybody tell you that you can't be you. Yeah, just do it, basically. Don't stress too much. That's the advice I would give. Okay, another question is, how did you know you were gay and not just curious? So I think it all starts with curiosity. I remember the first time I can actually process me having a crush on a girl was in 3rd grade. I looked over at this girl and she was drinking from the water fountain, and I got those like butterflies, like I have to get to know this person. The same way that I did when I had like a crush on a boy. When you're little, you just like have a crush. And so I had a crush on her, and that was the first time I can kind of like think about that. But then as I got older, and when it was 2015, like I was saying when I first came out, it was all just about curiosity. I was like, I have butterflies when I see certain people, certain girls, and I want to be able to explore that. So I think it all does stem from being curious and wanting to figure out what these feelings mean. There's nothing wrong with being curious, and there's nothing wrong if you are curious and you try things out and it's just not for you. So don't stress about how to know if you are gay or if it's just curiosity. Like, let yourself explore. Have you ever encountered any assholes within the gay community? I think there are assholes in every community, and I don't think it is correlated with the gay community. I think there are assholes all over the world, and they could be of any sexual orientation. So yes, I'm sure I've encountered some assholes that were gay. That girl that was like biphobic that I went on a date with and told me she only dates girls who date girls only, that was pretty assholey and not cool. So maybe that's one of them. Okay, so someone asked, what's the difference between pansexual and bisexual? And they are definitely sister sexualities. It depends. I think everybody has their versions of what it means. For me personally, when I looked up the definitions of both, bisexuality is, bi means two, so two genders, and most of the time that is men and women. For some people that are bi, that doesn't necessarily mean two genders, and it doesn't necessarily just mean men and women. It could mean different things for different people, but when I looked up the definition, that's what that meant. When I looked up the definition for pansexual, it was more about who the person is inside that you fall in love with, which was hearts, not parts, you know what I mean? So for me, that's why I associate myself with pansexual, with the word pansexual rather than bisexual, just because of the technical definition. I do recognize that some people use bisexual and they mean the exact same thing as pansexual. I just prefer to use pansexual for myself. Someone asked, how can I find a girlfriend? You tell me, I am also single. I'm joking. I think dating apps are great for gay people because it's kind of hard to tell if someone's gay or not. So I think dating apps are great for that sense. Yes, 99% of people are gonna suck on dating apps, and it is going to be a process. But I think you're gonna find someone quicker than if you just looked around the world. If you're looking in your daily life, it's gonna be a lot harder than if you just had an app with all the gay people in your town anyways. So maybe try that, or go to gay events. What is the thing that annoys you the most about in a lesbian? I think you mean being a lesbian. The thing that annoys me the most about being a lesbian, again, I know I just said I was pansexual, but I do use the term lesbian just because it's searchable, and because, like I said, I'm mostly only interested in girls. I use that interchangeably as well, or gay or queer or whatever. Like, I just use all of the terms. So the thing that annoys me the most about being into girls in general is dating is just really hard, because sometimes you don't know if the person you're hanging out with should be a friend or if they should be a love interest. Why did you break up with your ex? My last 2 relationships were back to back, and they both ended for very similar reasons. One of them was a guy, one of them was a girl, and they were both like worried about the opposite. They were very concerned with the fact that I was pansexual, and it was getting to our relationships and causing other fights down the line. They always thought I would cheat. They always thought I was like flirting with the other sex. That's why both of those relationships ended. There was obviously way more to it. It wasn't just the fact that they were like worried about that. I made a lot of mistakes as well in those both relationships. I wasn't as like understanding of their feelings. I get annoyed easily, so when that would happen, I would blow up. I didn't deal with things the best way that I could as well, so I don't want to put all the blame on them, but for me, on my side and my point of view, that's why those relationships ended. If you've ever dated a masculine lesbian, have they presented toxic masculinity characteristics? As for girls, I haven't dated anybody that's super masculine. I like kind of like a softer personality, somebody that's sweet, nurturing, caring, so I don't tend to gravitate towards people who are like I don't know why I did the punching thing. Nobody that's super masculine. So no, I haven't seen that. Would you say you're a U-Haul lesbian? So I made a whole video about U-Haul lesbians. You can check that out here. But yeah, I do tend to move very quickly. I'm learning to be a lot slower, which is great. This past year has taught me to be very slow. I've learned, but yeah, in the past I've been pretty quick. Would you ever date anyone who's ace? I'm pretty sure ace means that you're not interested in like the sex part of a relationship. I think you can still, or you know, some people who are ace are still interested in like an emotional connection as far as a relationship, but they're not really interested in like the sexual aspect. I probably wouldn't be with somebody like that just because I'm not super sexual, but sometimes I am. So I wouldn't be able to, like, I wouldn't want to pressure anybody into doing something that they didn't want to do, and that would just make me feel really bad if they were like, oh no, I want to do it for you, and I was like, but you don't actually like it, so I wouldn't want to do that. So I probably wouldn't date anybody that's ace. Do you plan on having kids? That is a tough question. I really don't have an answer for that. I think when I'm with the right person, one day, yes, I think. I'm totally fine with just adopting or like having them have the child. I personally don't know how I feel about actually like carrying a child. Like I'd probably do it if like they wanted me to, but I don't know. I would have to be in a different place in my life, I guess. Like mentally, I'm not prepared for that. I know like when it happens, you'll just be prepared. But since I probably will end up with a girl, that is something that I can think about a little bit more. Like it's not just gonna randomly happen, but I would just have to be with the right person, and I don't know how I would feel about actually carrying a child. Ooh, okay, so it looks like we got through all the questions. That was a lot. I will see you guys in this video right here. See you later. Bye.